Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here. Today it's the 5th of June. Sorry, no, it's not. It's the 5th of July. Thought I'd gone back in time there for a minute. It's the 5th of July 2024. If I can ask a quick favour, and that's if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, please. That'd be excellent and a big help. So please do that if you would. And today we're looking at Pallas and marvellous box set that's just come out, Eyes in the Night, the recordings 1981 to 1986. Now this is a quite superb 7-disc box set which spans the band's period, spookily enough, between 1981 and 1986, like the title suggests, and it does include their masterpiece album, The Sentinel. Right now, I've been told for years that album's a stone cold classic, but I've never got around to buying myself a copy, and it's a bit hard to find these days, isn't it, on CD. So when I saw a few weeks ago that Cherry Red were to release this box set, I thought, well, I'll get myself a copy, and then at least I've got the Sentinel as well and can decide if it really is a stone cold classic. Well, it is, isn't it, after I've listened to it. But again, amongst this box set, it's all excellent stuff. Cherry Red do these box sets so well and regularly. I mean, just the other week, couple of weeks ago, they released the Chateau box set, didn't they, from the Wobham days, and that's good as well. So what we got here, the usual nice sturdy box. It contains all 7 discs. There's a poster in there as well, and a comprehensive booklet with all sorts of history of the band in 1980s and plenty of photographs. Really interesting read. And asks for the discs themselves. They're all in replica cardboard sleeves, and what we got spanning these 7 discs is a quick rundown of the following. CD 1 is Arrive Alive from 1981, the band's debut. It was a live album. Yeah, it's a little bit rough and ready, though it does showcase an emerging progressive band full of potential, playing longish, interesting, complex yet accessible music. You know, there's plenty of driving guitar, there's all sorts of keyboards and synths, throbbing bass, some intricate drumming, and at times some quite dramatic vocals. Picks for me, Queen of the Deep, Heart Attack, and the quite unsettling The Ripper. There was some quite topical stuff going on back then, and but it's all excellent. It does show a band that displayed plenty of ability. CD 2, more live stuff. There's a couple of Friday Rock Show performances. We all remember the Mr. Friday Rock Show, don't we? On 10 o'clock on a Friday night on Radio 1. There's 2 particular performances here. One is of Pallas at the 1983 Reading Festival, and the other one's a Friday Rock Show studio session. Again, more good stuff. Then we move on to CD 3, which is the Sentinel from 1984, band's debut studio album, and I can attest it is indeed the classic I've been repeatedly told it is. It's bold, it's dramatic, it flows, it's engaging, it's got a lot. Particularly enjoy the interplay between guitars and the keyboards and all the synth bursts and stabs going on. I found it, I get to learn more about it with each listen, and to me it comes over of quite a dramatic mixture of, say, late 70s Rush, Styx and Yes. And it's also good, and to add to it, there are 4 bonus tracks pegged on as well. I think of all of it, Cut and Run's probably my favourite. That's quite a dramatic one. Then we move to CD 4. Now this is the US mix of the Sentinel, and this is a much harder mix than the UK version. The guitars are much more prominent and the keys are a little bit lower in the mix, but I prefer this. I prefer the US mix over the UK mix, but that's just personal preference. Then we got CD 5 there, which is the Wedge from 1986, which is the follow-up to the Sentinel. And I say full marks to Pallas for not attempting to do Sentinel Mark II and instead come out with something arguably a little bit less progressive and more towards, in parts, to my ears, more progressive metal. The songs I feel are generally heavier and more direct, but there are some commercial aspects to it, and at times almost ballad-like. But it's bold because it's different from the Sentinel, is what I think. You know, they were trying something different. They were moving forwards, and you know, like for example, Dance Through the Fire is nice, upbeat and catchy, whereas the Executioner is more chunky, edgy prog, and bonus tracks are plenty as well here. CD 6, more live stuff. This is live at the Ritz from Aberdeen in 1985. Excellent performance with the band on home turf in Scotland. And then disc 7 is a Blu-ray of Pallas performing live in London in 1985. Now, I can't comment on this one because I made a slight error thinking that this was a DVD, but it's not. It's a Blu-ray, and I don't have a Blu-ray player, so I can't watch it and tell you anything about it. Nevertheless, the 6 CDs alone are more than worth it. You know, to me, this box set's a real winner, and Pallas show throughout all the stuff what a fine band they were back in the 1980s, and right up there with that neo-progressive movement that was going on at the time. If someone can tell me what neo-progressive means, please do. But it's all about the music, isn't it? But there were other bands that are around at the time, such as IQ, 12th Night, Pendragon, that were doing similar kind of stuff, this neo-progressive stuff. And Pallas is up there as good as any of them, in my opinion. I really do like this all the way through. Before buying this box set, my only exposure to Pallas was I bought The Messenger when that was released at the back end of last year. I didn't like it too much. There's a video review on the channel somewhere, but I didn't like The Messenger very much at all. But I must say that everything here from the 1980s, first class indeed. So that's Pallas and Eyes in the Night, 7-disc box set, 6 CDs, 1 DVD, a book and a poster and bonus tracks and top stuff throughout. I'll put a link to it underneath to Amazon if you'd like to go and pick up a copy. As I record this, it's around about 60 quid. And when you think what you get for 60 quid, I'd call that value for money. So that's that. Please do subscribe to the channel before you go, because that'd be marvellous. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and take care.